We won't even try to convince you because you already like to eat too much protein. There's a lot more money out there than in plant-based meat alternatives. Okay, guys, so Beyond Meat is not doing so great. Right now, in the last few years, they went to negative 26% in gross profits last year. And this year, they have been getting back up, right? So the last 3 quarters, they have been in positive gross profits at 10%, 11%, 12%, and so on. So that's not great, but they're doing better than analysts expected. In their Q3 prelim report, they are saying that they're going to hit about $70 million in revenues, which is more than the $68 million that analysts expected. So that's great, but it gets better. So Beyond Meat in August said that they're going to drop the meat from their name to become just Beyond. And this is very important for those who are investing for the long term in this company. Of course, we just saw last week that the company's stock rose from 50 cents to 8.85 in pre-market in less than a week, right? So over 15x in appreciation in a few days, and easily a lot of people made 10x their money in a crazy amount of time. And the stock is still up more than 4x from its low of 50 cents per share. So today it's about $2 per share. That's great for those who are trying to trade it right now. But for those who are really interested in the long-term potential of this company, I have some exciting analysis for you here. So I've always been fascinated about how Americans just love protein. I was vegan for 4 years because I was sick and I decided to go vegan and see if that would help me get better. And it did. It helped me get a whole lot better. So I stopped eating meat from 2017 until 2021, right? 4 years. Can't do math right now. Beyond Meat is tapping into something that Americans have always done, which is eat way more protein than they have to. The World Health Organization recommends about 49 grams of protein per day for women and about 50 some for men per day. But Americans eat about 85 grams of protein per day, most of it 80% being from meat. That's great, right, for Beyond Meat. If you're trying to get into the protein market, which we're going to talk about. But before we get there, let's talk about Europe. Europe used to eat a lot less protein than Americans. But since 2010 until the current time, their consumption of protein has risen more than 119%. Now they're eating about 115 grams of protein per day. And so where does Beyond sit in all of this? Why am I telling you all of this? Well, it's because Beyond has said, we were great for plant-based protein, but there's a whole other market that is expanding rapidly in the USA and across the world, including the European countries. So why don't we take our expertise in producing protein, edible, tasty protein, instead of just focusing on the main course, right, on the steak or the burger, why don't we let you use our protein to make any kind of meal, not just meat alternatives? Why don't we just let you use our protein as a side in your meal, right? As a component, right? If you want to make tacos, you can use our protein. If you want to make tofu, probably, not saying this is what they're going for, but if you want to make a protein dish, we could do that too. If you want to do whatever with protein, maybe a protein bar, right? A chocolate chip protein bar, we could do that too, because people love chocolate chip protein bars, which taste awful, but what if Beyond Meat can make them better, right? You want a protein shake? Beyond Meat could do that too, because they know how to make protein and make it taste good. You want any type of protein, because people want all the protein. People want to get big. Everyone's obsessed with getting big and lean as well, right? So if you want protein, Beyond has realized, hey, maybe plant-based meat isn't going to come back into vogue like it once was in 2020. Of course, it's still doing well. Their revenues are still in the $300 to $400 million per year. And that's great. But Beyond is thinking bigger, right? Notice I said Beyond. They're going beyond meat, right? They are taking the path of, hey, there's a lot more money out there than in plant-based meat alternatives, right? And we don't have to sell people on plant-based meat alternatives. Like, it's the same problem as for EVs. You have to go tell people, hey, the gas mile or the mileage issue is solved. We're sure you can get an EV. You should get one. It's better for the planet. It's better for yourself. It's really great, right? EVs have to go out and make that sale, which costs money. It costs resources to go make that sale, and then it's even harder to actually get the person to buy because you have to convince them. And changing somebody's mind is very hard. If they have already been conditioned to believe that gasoline cars are the best thing in the world, you're not gonna get a very good chance at changing their mind to all of a sudden go with electric, especially if they have this fear that they can't get gas or fuel electric charging along their long road trip, which they're not taking anyway, because most people don't take long road trips because most people are working all the time and they just commute to work and back home. But they have this thing in their mind that they have to have a gas station everywhere that they go, that they might possibly go even to the moon, right? So plant-based meat alternatives face the same issue. If you have to try to convince someone to change their behavior, you're going up against a mountain. You're trying to push a mountain, and that's really hard, as Beyond Meat is seeing or has been seeing. Now they're saying, hey, we won't even try to convince you because you already like to eat too much protein. You love protein. You eat more than double what is recommended. So we're going to just sell you protein that you already like. We don't have to sell. That's wonderful. We don't have to convince you. We don't have to educate you on this new market, this new product. We don't have to make you feel better about eating protein because it's good for the planet. No, you already eat protein. You already eat too much protein. We're just going to give you what you want. And you're going to buy it from us because we make it the best and the healthiest with the least amount of ingredients. And then we make it tasty because we know how to make food people want to eat, because they've been doing that for a decade now. So Beyond Meat is taking what I believe to be a very smart business path forward. So when people are telling me, oh, they don't make any money today because plant-based meat is blah, 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 I say, okay, great. But they are making money and their gross profits are recovering, but they're also pivoting, which is going to be very exciting for the next 5-10 years ahead. And so I believe that with this leadership, they can actually turn around their business and get back to the 2020, 2021 era they had 3 quarters of actual profits in 2021, I believe it was, when their gross margins were at 35-36%. So they're currently at 12% as of the last earnings report. And if they can continue to rise gradually over the next few years to 20%, 25%, 30%, we could probably see them get to 40%, especially now that they're making this pivot into a space where it's going to cost them a lot less to market their product, because they don't have to convince people, they don't have to educate people. They just say, hey, you want a protein? You want it in a chocolate chip cookie? You want it in your milkshake? We got the protein and it tastes great. We go beyond. Buy our protein. Very simple. They don't have to spend 10 minutes educating you on what protein is. You already know it. You want meatballs? I have these granola bars that I eat every day. They have chocolate in them, chocolate granola bars. And that's how I get some extra protein here and there. Right? I have some plant-based protein powder for my workouts whenever I feel like having some protein and getting a little bit bigger. That's the extent of my protein knowledge. But apparently I am in the minority, because Americans are just taking down all that protein, and then Europeans come in and say, hey, hold our beer, because they love beer. But now they're saying, hey, we like protein too. We're going to become the capital of protein. So I'm excited for what Beyond Meat is working on, what they have us in store for us with this new rebrand to just Beyond. And if you're an investor for the long term, I think you also should be excited about this company's future. That's all I have for you for now. I'm Lincoln with 4academy.org. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.